Imagine it's the Cold War. The world is holding its breath. On one side, the F-15 Eagle. The F-15, a masterpiece, ruler of the skies. It could outfly, it could outmaneuver, it could outfight almost anything. For years it was the undisputed champion. But being on top has consequences. Rivals build to beat you. Innovation never sleeps. The Air Force looked to the horizon. New threats emerging. Russian Su-27, Russian MiG-29. Agile, powerful challengers. The game was changing. Speed and power weren't enough. Air combat would be about seeing first. The Air Force needed a technological leap, not just a better fighter. A new kind of fighter. Enter the F-22 Raptor. The program, Advanced Tactical Fighter, ATF. Mission, replace the F-15 and secure air superiority for decades. Requirement, near invisibility to radar. A ghost. Requirement, faster. Requirement, more agile. Requirement, smarter. A monumental engineering challenge. The core problem, combine conflicting ideas in one machine. Stealth often reduces agility. Stealth shapes hurt high G turning. Supercruise needs massive engines, big heat signature. Integrate everything with advanced computers. The ultimate engineering puzzle. Like a silent, invisible, lightning-fast race car that can dance like a ballerina. The mountain engineers had to climb. Every great build starts with a blueprint. For the F-22, the blueprint was a wish list of impossible features. Engineers from Lockheed Martin, engineers from Boeing, turning science fiction into reality. The first big challenge was the shape. Design for supersonic speed design without a pilot and be a ghost on enemy radar. The team threw out the old rulebook. Traditional fighters, rounded bodies, vertical tails. Those shapes act like radar billboards. The solution? Radical new design, flat surfaces and sharp angles. Think of it like a diamond. Diamond facets reflect light directionally. The F-22 scatters radar away from receivers. That's the alien angular look. Every single line, every panel, every edge calculated to deflect energy. The two vertical tails angled outwards to avoid 90-degree corners. Shape was only part of the puzzle. Materials were just as important. You can't use regular aluminum. Engineers turned to composites and advanced materials. Titanium composites, other top-secret stuff. These materials are strong, light, and absorb radar. Like painting a wall black to absorb light. The F-22's skin is a radar-absorbent layer cake. Huge undertaking. New manufacturing techniques. Tolerances were razor thin. A fraction-inch misalignment equals sign radar hotspot. Think of it this way. A big cargo plane has a huge RCS, like the size of a barn on a radar screen. A bird has a tiny RCS, maybe the size of a marble. The goal for the F-22 was to have the RCS of a bumblebee. That's an incredibly small target to find, especially when it's moving at over 1,000 miles per hour. It's a true disappearing act. So how did they pull it off? We already talked about the shape and the radar-absorbent materials, but the devil is in the details. Every single thing on the outside of the plane had to be hidden. Take the weapons, for example. On an F-15, missiles hang on pylons under the wings. On an F-15, bombs hang on pylons under the wings. This is great for carrying a lot of firepower, but it's terrible for stealth. Those missiles are like giant radar reflectors. The F-22 solves this with internal weapons bays, like a secret agent hiding a gadget in their coat. The Raptor keeps its missiles tucked away inside its belly. When it's time to fire, the bay doors snap open. The missile launches, the doors close in less than a second. Even the engines presented a huge challenge. Jet engines are basically giant metal fans with a fire-breathing dragon behind them. They are incredibly hot and full of spinning blades. Two things that radar and heat-seeking sensors love to detect. To solve this, the F-22's engines are buried deep inside the aircraft's body. The air intakes are S-shaped ducts. This serpentine shape means there is no straight line of sight from the outside to the spinning fan blades of the engine. Radar waves go in, bounce around, get absorbed, and never come back out. It's a brilliant piece of plumbing. The Raptor is powered by two Pratt & Whitney F-119 engines. These are not your average jet engines. They are technological marvels, each capable of producing around 35,000 pounds of thrust. That's more power than the engines on some World War II bombers. This raw power allows the F-22 to do something most other fighters can't. Supercruise. Supercruise is the ability to fly at supersonic speeds, faster than the speed of sound, without using afterburners. An afterburner is like a turbocharger for a jet engine. It injects raw fuel directly into the hot exhaust, creating a massive boost in power. It's awesome, but it drinks fuel like crazy. and lights up the back of the plane like a bonfire for heat-seeking missiles. The F-22 can cruise at Mach 1.5 on pure engine power. This means it can travel vast distances at incredible speeds, arriving at the fight faster and with more fuel to spare than its opponents. It's a game-changer, but speed is nothing without agility. The F-22 is famous for its post-stall maneuvering. This means it can remain in control even when its wings stop generating lift traditionally. The secret ingredient here is thrust vectoring. The nozzles at the back of the F-119 engines can move up and down independently. By directing the engine's thrust, the pilot can literally push the plane's nose in any direction, regardless of where the plane is actually flying. It allows the F-22 to perform breathtaking maneuvers that would cause other jets to fall out of the sky. The F-22 Raptor is more than just a collection of powerful hardware. It has a brain, a sophisticated network of computers and sensors that gives the pilot godlike awareness of the battlefield. This is a concept called sensor fusion. In older jets, the pilot had to look at different screens for different information. One screen for radar, another for navigation, another for threat warnings. The pilot had to mentally piece all this information together, all while flying at twice the speed of sound. It was an incredibly demanding job that could quickly overload a person. The F-22 changes all that. It has a powerful radar called the APG-77 which can see targets from hundreds of miles away. It also has sensors that can detect electronic signals and infrared heat signatures. The magic is that the F-22's onboard computers take all the data from these different sensors and fuse it into a single, simple picture. On the pilot's main display, friendly forces appear as green symbols and enemy forces as red symbols. The pilot doesn't need to know if the target was detected by radar or a heat sensor. The computer does the work and just says, "Here's the bad guy." The F-22's testing program was one of the most rigorous and demanding ever conducted. The first prototype, known as the YF-22, took to the skies in 1990. Test pilots are a special breed of people. Their job is to take a brand new, unproven machine and intentionally push it to its breaking point. They have to find the edges of the envelope, the maximum speed, altitude, G-forces, to make sure it's safe for regular Air Force pilots. One of the most critical phases of testing was validating the stealth technology. This wasn't done in a lab, it was done at top-secret test ranges. Engineers would set up powerful radar systems on the ground and in the air, and have the F-22 fly against them. They measured its radar cross-section from every possible angle, hunting for any flaws in the design. In one famous incident during testing in 1992, a test pilot was flying a YF-22 prototype. He was performing high G maneuvers when a software glitch caused the flight control system to become unstable. The plane began to pitch up and down violently, completely out of control. The pilot fought to regain command but couldn't. He made the tough call to eject just seconds before the prototype aircraft crashed and was destroyed. The prototype aircraft crashed and was destroyed. This was a huge blow, but the lessons learned from the wreckage were invaluable. Engineers analyzed the data and fixed the software flaw, making the final F-22 safer for all future pilots. Another key moment was the first time the F-22 fired a missile from its internal weapons bay at supersonic speed. This was a huge engineering unknown. Would the violent airflow at supersonic speeds damage the missile or the plane? Would the missile be able to guide properly after being ejected into such a chaotic environment? The tests were a stunning success. The bay doors opened, the missile was pushed out by hydraulic arms, and it flew perfectly to its target. This test proved that the F-22's most important feature, its stealthy internal armament, worked exactly as designed. It was a moment of triumph for the entire team. When the F-22 Raptor was officially introduced into the United States Air Force in 2005, it was like a spaceship had landed among propeller planes. In training, results were stunning. F-22s regularly achieved kill ratios of over 100-to-1 against older fighters like the F-15 and the F-16. It wasn't a fair fight. The advantage isn't just stealth, it's the total package. Many experts still call the F-22 the most capable air-to-air fighter ever built, the benchmark for all other fighters. The F-35 Lightning II, the workhorse of the modern Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, owes much of its technology to the trail blazed by the F-22. The Raptor was the pathfinder, the one that proved the impossible could be done. It was the moonshot of fighter jet design. The F-22 Raptor is, and will remain for a long time, the undisputed king of the sky, a legend forged in the crucible of innovation, a lasting testament to the power of a great idea.